In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to diversify beyond federal contracts without abandoning the government work that's paying your bills right now. You'll discover the 4 proven diversification paths that actually work, the biggest mistakes contractors make when they try to expand, and the specific timeline and budget you need to make this transition successfully. Plus, I made a contracting comedy clip for you to enjoy. Look for it in this video. Let's dive in. If you're watching this video, you've already decided diversification outside of the federal market isn't optional. It's survival. Whether the DOGE initiative impacted your contracts, you're seeing procurement consolidation, or you're just smart enough to know that depending on one revenue source is dangerous, you're here for one reason: you want to know how to diversify without losing your federal contracts. I'm Abraham Sean, president of the GovCon community, and in the next few minutes, I'm going to give you 4 proven paths to build non-federal revenue. These are practical strategies with clear roadmaps that contractors are implementing right now. These are the diversification plays that create real options. Here's path 1. Here's the reality. The risk in an only federal contracting approach is high. You're dependent on one customer with unpredictable budget cycles, increasing consolidation, and growing complexity. But here's what you need to know. There's an adjacent market that represents almost 3 times the opportunity. The SLED market, state, local, and education, is around $2 trillion annually across 100,000 entities. That's nearly 3 times federal contract spending. These are government buyers in your backyard who need the same services you're already providing. Commercial markets operate on completely different cycles than federal. The contractors building multiple revenue streams right now are creating resilience that will matter in the years ahead. There are 4 paths forward, and I'm going to walk you through all of them. Let's start with the fastest path to revenue.
I'm trying to understand the FAR. So many parts, it's like assembling a Lego set without the picture.
Just follow Forms A12, A15, and A39 now. Piece of cake.
Cake? Sure, if it's made of paperwork.
All right, takes. Let's explore Rule 1.
Four proven diversification paths. Path 1 is commercial revenue with your existing capabilities. This is your fastest play. Path 2 is state and local government contracts, what we call SLED. This is your biggest hidden opportunity. Path 3 is your Plan B business, building a separate revenue stream that could grow into your primary income in 12 to 18 months. This is your near-term security. Path 4 is international government markets for advanced contractors. This is your premium opportunity. Each path has different risk profiles, investment requirements, and timelines. Your job is to pick the right one based on where you are now, not where you wish you were. I'm going to walk you through the strategies, realistic timelines, and what you need to know to make each path work. Let's start with the path that gets revenue fastest. Path 1 is commercial revenue using capabilities you already have. Here's the key insight most contractors miss. You probably have commercial-ready offerings hiding inside your government work. The technical work you're doing for federal agencies, the actual deliverables, the processes, the expertise, that's exactly what commercial clients need. What changes isn't the work, it's customer acquisition, sales cycles, and pricing models. But here's your hidden commercial advantage: regulatory compliance expertise. If you're managing FAR compliance, DCAA audits, and CMMC certification for federal work, commercial clients in healthcare, finance, and critical infrastructure are desperate for that same rigor. They're not buying your service, they're buying your federal-grade accountability. Let me show you how this translates across 4 major service categories. Each one represents a direct path from federal to commercial revenue. Let's start with information technology services. If you're managing federal data centers, cloud migrations, or cybersecurity operations for government agencies, commercial enterprises need identical capabilities. A cybersecurity firm doing threat assessments and compliance for DOD can sell the exact same service to banks, hospitals, and manufacturers. They need HIPAA compliance, SOC 2 certifications, and PCI DSS standards, all of which mirror the rigor you're already applying in federal work. An IT company managing federal infrastructure can manage commercial infrastructure. The servers are the same, the networks are the same, the security protocols are parallel. What's different? Commercial clients make decisions faster, pay on commercial terms, and often have higher margins. The transition from federal IT to commercial IT isn't learning new skills. It's learning how to sell the skills you already have to clients who desperately need federal-grade security and compliance. Second category, construction and facility services. If you're doing construction, renovation, or facilities management on military bases or federal buildings, you're working with the same materials, same codes, and same standards that commercial clients need. Commercial projects often move faster and have fewer bureaucratic layers. A contractor doing facilities maintenance for Army installations can maintain corporate campuses, university facilities, or hospital complexes. Same HVAC systems, same electrical work, same building codes. A construction firm building federal facilities can build commercial office space, manufacturing plants, or retail centers. You already understand project management, safety compliance, quality control, and subcontractor coordination. Commercial general contractors constantly seek firms with proven track records in complex, regulated environments. Your federal experience positions you as a premium provider. The challenge isn't capability, it's marketing yourself to commercial clients. Show them your past performance, your safety records, your on-time delivery. Administrative and professional services. This includes everything from human resources support to training development to program management. If you're providing administrative support to federal agencies, HR services, recruiting, training programs, PMO support, commercial companies need identical services. The PMO methodologies you use for DoD programs work for Fortune 500 companies. The training programs you develop for federal employees can be adapted for corporate learning and development. The HR compliance you manage for federal contracts translates directly to commercial HR consulting. Professional services firms are among the highest margin businesses you can build because you're selling expertise and process, not materials or equipment. The investment is lower, the scaling is faster, and your federal experience gives you credibility that pure commercial consultants don't have. You've managed complex stakeholder environments, strict compliance requirements, and high visibility projects. That's exactly what corporate clients are paying premium rates for. Fourth category, facilities support services. This is one of the most direct translations from federal to commercial. If you're providing janitorial services, landscaping, security, waste management, or other facility support to government buildings, you can provide identical services to commercial properties. The equipment is the same. The processes are the same. The quality standards are often higher in federal work, which means you're overqualified for commercial contracts. A facility support company servicing federal buildings can service corporate office parks, shopping centers, apartment complexes, or industrial facilities. These are often local contracts with faster payment cycles and simpler procurement. Commercial property managers care about reliability, quality, and responsiveness. If you've been successfully managing federal facilities contracts, you have all three. The key is understanding that commercial facilities management is about relationships and service delivery. Build relationships with commercial property management firms, facility directors, and property owners in your area. Path 2 is state, local, and education markets, SLED. This is the most underestimated opportunity in government contracting. The SLED market is around $2 trillion annually across 100,000 government entities. That's nearly 3 times federal contract spending. It includes state agencies, city governments, counties, school districts, and public universities. Here's what makes SLED perfect for diversification. Lower barriers to entry than federal, faster procurement cycles, less competition, and it doesn't stop during federal shutdowns. California's state budget alone exceeds $400 billion. Texas, Florida, New York, these states spend more than many federal agencies. But here's the real advantage: volume and proximity. There are exponentially more opportunities because there are thousands of independent buying entities. Cities, counties, school districts, transit authorities, all procuring independently. Many of these buyers are in your backyard. You can build relationships with local and regional government buyers the same way you network in any business community. Here's the SLED secret most contractors don't know: cooperative purchasing agreements. Organizations like Omnia Partners, Sourcewell, and National IPA negotiate master agreements that allow thousands of government entities and nonprofits to purchase without running their own procurement. If you already have a GSA schedule, you can leverage it through cooperative purchasing organizations. Your existing federal contract becomes your entry ticket to state, local, and education markets. Let's say you have a GSA IT schedule 70 contract. You join a cooperative purchasing organization. They piggyback your GSA pricing and terms. Now, school districts, cities, counties, and state agencies in their network can buy from you without running full procurements. You're already registered in SAM.gov. You're already GSA compliant. The Cooperative just expands your reach. This is the fastest path to SLED revenue for existing GSA schedule holders. If you don't have a GSA schedule or you want to pursue larger state contracts directly, you can go after direct SLED opportunities. Every state has its own procurement system. Many operate differently from federal FAR-based contracting. Some states have streamlined processes for contracts under certain thresholds. Many states have simplified procedures for contracts under $50,000 or $100,000. The key is understanding which states align with your existing capabilities. If you're doing federal IT services, states like Texas, Virginia, and California have massive IT procurement needs. If you're doing facilities management for DOD, target states with large public university systems. The compliance translation is easier than you think. Your federal cybersecurity framework experience translates to state requirements. Your FAR compliance knowledge helps with state procurement regulations. Think of SLED as federal contracting's less complicated cousin. Path 3 is building your Plan B business. This is the most important diversification strategy nobody talks about. Your Plan B isn't a hobby, it's a separate business entity, an LLC, an S-Corp, something legally distinct from your federal contracting company that could become your primary income within 12 to 18 months if federal work disappears. Federal contractors face unique risks: contract consolidation, budget cuts, loss of key personnel, failed recompetes. Any of these can cut your revenue by 50% or more overnight. Your Plan B is your insurance policy. It's a business you can scale up quickly if you need to walk away from federal contracting. Here's the strategic part. Your Plan B should leverage skills or relationships from your federal work, but operate in a completely different market. The key is building something that doesn't depend on federal contracts, clearances, or government procurement cycles. Path 4 is for advanced contractors with active security clearances, international government contracting through Five Eyes and allied nation programs. If you hold active federal contracts and clearances, you may qualify for defense and security work with allied governments. The Five Eyes Alliance includes the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. These nations have intelligence sharing agreements and often have procurement vehicles for cleared U.S. contractors. This isn't about abandoning federal work. It's about diversifying which government is writing your checks. You're still doing classified or sensitive work. You're still operating in the defense and intelligence community. You're just expanding your potential customer base from one government to 5. Unlike commercial diversification, you don't have to learn entirely new compliance frameworks or give up your clearances. You're staying in your lane, just widening it significantly. Programs like the UK's Defense and Security Accelerator, Canada's Innovation for Defense Excellence and Security Program, and Australia's Defense Innovation Hub actively seek U.S. contractors with relevant capabilities. There are also foreign military sales programs, FMS, where your federal work can extend to allied nations purchasing U.S. defense articles and services. For contractors with security clearances and defense or intel experience, this path offers government revenue diversification without leaving the government space entirely. It's geographic diversification within your core competency. The compliance requirements are strict. You'll need ITAR or EAR compliance depending on what you're exporting. You may need to establish foreign entities or partnerships, and you'll need to navigate each country's procurement systems. But for contractors already operating in the clear space with strong past performance, international government contracting can add millions in revenue while keeping you in the exact market you understand best. You're just serving different flags. So which path is right for you? Here's how to decide. First question, do you already have a GSA schedule? If yes, start with path 2. Cooperative purchasing through SLED. Leverage what you already have. It's the fastest revenue with the lowest lift. Second question, are you ready to operate in business-to-business markets? If you want to stay in government contracting but diversify the source, go with path 2. Direct SLED. If you're willing to adapt for private sector work, choose path 1. Commercial adaptation. Third question, do you need a true safety net? If you want a completely separate business that could replace your federal income, build path 3, your Plan B business. Fourth question, do you hold active security clearances and work in defense or intel? If yes, path 4. International government contracting keeps you in the clear space. Most successful contractors don't pick just one path. They sequence them strategically. Now let me show you the 3 fatal mistakes that kill diversification efforts. Mistake number 1, treating diversification like a side project. I've watched contractors assign their lowest performer to lead commercial development while their top team stays on federal work. That guarantees failure. If diversification matters to your survival, it needs leadership attention and your best talent. Mistake number 2, trying to diversify during a cash crisis. Diversification requires investment. Marketing costs money. Business development takes time. Proposal development needs resources. If you wait until you're desperate, you won't have the runway to execute properly. Start diversifying when you're still winning federal work, not after you've lost everything. Mistake number 3, abandoning your federal base. I've seen contractors get so excited about commercial opportunities that they neglect their federal contracts. Your federal performance and past performance ratings are assets. Protect them while you diversify. Here's your 90-day pilot framework. Don't try to build a complete diversification strategy overnight. Start with one path and test it systematically. Month 1, research and preparation. Pick your primary diversification path. Study that market. Identify 5 to 7 target opportunities. Join relevant associations. Build your initial marketing materials. Month 2, outreach and engagement. If you're going commercial, reach out to 10 potential clients. If you're pursuing SLED, submit 5 to 7 proposals through cooperative purchasing or direct opportunities. If you're building a plan B, launch your minimum viable product or service. Month 3, measurement and adjustment. Track what's working, what generated interest, what fell flat. Adjust your approach based on real market feedback. By day 90, you should have 1 qualified opportunity, 1 active proposal, or 1 paying customer. That's your proof of concept. That's your signal to double down or pivot to a different path. Let's talk about realistic timelines. Months 1 through 3, research and pilot. You're learning the market, testing messaging, submitting initial proposals. Don't expect revenue yet. You're building pipeline. Months 4 through 6, first wins and refinement. This is when you'll see your first SLED contract, your first commercial client, or your first Plan B customer. Revenue will be small, but it's proof the model works. Months 7 through 12, scaling and systematizing. You're doubling down on what's generating interest. You're building repeatable processes. By month 12, aim for 10 to 15% of revenue from non-federal sources. Months 13 through 18, momentum and growth. This is when diversification shifts from experiment to real business line. By month 18, target 25 to 30% non-federal revenue. That's meaningful protection. By months 24 to 36, mature diversification has you at 30 to 40% non-federal sources. That's true resilience. Here's what this looks like in practice. Let's say you're a federal contractor today with $900,000 in annual revenue, all federal. You start diversifying now. By the end of year 1, you've added $120,000 in SLED revenue through cooperative purchasing. That's 13% diversification. Not huge, but it's a foundation. Year 2, you scale SLED to $300,000 and add $100,000 in commercial consulting. Now you're at $400,000 in non-federal revenue. That's 44% diversified. Year 3, your Plan B business generates $200,000, SLED grows to $400,000, and commercial hits $150,000. You're now at $750,000 non-federal against $750,000 federal revenue. That's 50% diversified. Here's what that means practically. If your federal contracts get cut by 50%, you're already in a better position. That's survivable. Without diversification, that same cut could be a death spiral. Here's the final truth. The federal contracting market isn't going away, but it is changing in ways most contractors aren't prepared for. The contractors who thrive over the next 3 years won't be the ones with the best federal relationships or the most past performance. They'll be the ones who built resilient, diversified revenue models 2 years earlier. They'll be the contractors who took action when they still had time and resources, not when they were in crisis mode. You can't control federal budgets. You can't control procurement consolidation. But you can control whether you're dependent on one revenue source or 3. You can control whether you build options while you have leverage. The question isn't whether to diversify, it's whether you'll do it now or wish you had later. If this video helped, hit like and subscribe. Drop a comment, tell me which path you're pursuing. Join us at GovCon Community. The link is in the description. Go build something that lasts. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me and watching this video here. I want to invite you to the GovCon community. You can get set up and join the community as a free member. There's no cost to be part of the community. We're growing and love for you to be part of it. And then we have a free course that's going on right now that's usually $197, but it's available to all free members. So go ahead and check it out, and I will see you in the community. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.